also the Socratic learning. So we'd love to listen to you more, maybe on some other forum and time. Thank you so much. And we now invite Professor Dr. PREMLAL Joshi sir, who is an educationist, scholar, author and writer, the former professor, Multimedia University, Malaysia. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon to all distinguished people here. I'm 73 years old, so I have certain problems, memory loss, all those kind of things. Okay, I remember my wife when I see her. Otherwise, other days I forget that I have wife. Another point, you say that your AI will control the future education, right? Right? But one thing, in India, AI cannot control me. Cannot control me. Right? My wife only controls me and my wife. Yes. Don't make that mistake. They are women empowerment. Okay. I would like to say that one thing. I have written some articles on AI and whether AI will replace accountants and auditors in the future. It has been a very popular article. Now, here I would like to say one thing, cost. Digitalization will reduce the cost in the future. This is one thing. Number two, sir. Ethics. Nobody talks about ethics. Ethics education here. And misuse of the technology. Misuse of the technology. This is main thing. Now, 2 days back I read the short article of UGC chairman, who emphasized on quality of research and publication. And I'm focusing a little bit on this based on my experience. So, how to press this one? Yeah. Okay, please. Okay. This is very simple. I'm founder of 5 journals, in fact. 3 of them now they are Scopus, and they are published on this. Research cycle, I can classify into 3 categories. Just 1 minute. First, conducting research. This is beyond the scope of this presentation. Preparation of the manuscript, and after submission, how to address the comments of the reviewers. Very, very important point. Next. The paper. Next. Papers here, research paper can classify in 3 categories for this presentation: qualitative, and case studies. Next. Now, first, how to prepare the manuscript. This is very important. I would say that when you start preparing your manuscript, assuming that you have done research, right? Many times you get confused. What is the title? Next, what is the title? For example, title and author information. A good title contains the fewest possible word, not more than 75 letters, which should adequately describe the contents and the purpose of the study. No abbreviations. Because I receive every day 2 or 3 papers. I'm the currently editor of 2 journals, right? And particularly researchers from Middle East, India, and Nigeria. They have a lot of problems. So here you can see that how to structure paper for title, abstract, why, how, and what. Introduction, very, very important. Please remember, abstract is also very important. Can we just next. Okay. Most of the time, if you are going to submit your paper in the accredited journals, the editor-in-chief will see only the abstract to decide whether it should be sent out or not, or review. And abstract should be prepared in this way. Okay, 150, within 150 to 250 words, either in the running format or emerald format. Okay, should include purpose, methodology, use, findings, or ordinarity, valuation. Now, what happens? Many times researchers, you can see young researchers, even professors have seen, okay, one paper is rejected by Emerald, immediately they will submit to my journal without making any change, even the abstract, because Emerald abstract is in this format, not running format, right? I also do the same thing. I also reject that. So don't do that, please, right? With what you say now, you should do research smartly, right? And other things are there. Next please. introduction, literature review. Literature review, main thing here. Because many of the young researchers, they face problems in this. How to identify the research gap? They don't understand systematic research, analysis versus meta-analysis. They copy and paste. Many of the Indian researchers, if you see, in accounting, finance, management also, right? It should be critical analysis. No, research gaps could be practical gaps, knowledge gaps, conceptual gaps, or data gaps, or methodological gaps. They should be identified in the research. And in the introduction should end with identify research questions, research problems, objectives, and then research gap should be mentioned in that. Next, review process. Suppose, assuming that you have completed your paper, you are submitting to a journal. Now, when I used to submit my, when I was the editor-in-chief of International of Accounting, Auditing, for Pharmacy Medicine, published by International UK, in 2003, right? I started that journal. At that time, I was the only person from India who was the editor-in-chief of International journals. And they put a condition, no, we should have one American as the co-editor with you. I said, and this journal is so successful now that currently the editor of the journal is the senior most accounting professor in the world, who is 83 years old. Okay, so here we follow a systematic way. Hiring editors over here, single blind review, double blind review. Single blind review means what we call preliminary screening of the journal, the hours of coming, all those kind of things. Once that you can say paper survives at the you can say review process, right? Then starts the real, you can say, work. In fact, there are several criteria for acceptance of the paper, like originality, novelty. No, originality, novelty, it is defined in various ways. Originality, for example, in India, I just did one thesis from Central University. Believe me, I was going to reject the thesis, but it was since the professor was my friend, I have to revise it. Replicated study. Replicated study, thesis I am talking. 3 explanatory variables, 8 control variables, and only one variable turned out to be significant. And then when I checked, the same research was done by one of the you can say associate professor from University of you can say University of Technology, Australia. But still okay, no problem. So there are some criteria how the manuscripts, these you can say manuscripts of papers we used to accept. Contribution is the most important thing. You can say what the next is. Yeah, 1 minute. How to you can say reply the reverse comment. This is my model. Use of CPE. Completely, politely, and evidence. Right evidence. Now, please remember, I have seen many researchers, even professors in the paper, they say that their research is groundbreaking. Groundbreaking research. Pioneering research, because don't blame it. Let the reviewers or editors decide about this. Right? So, one more thing I want to show you. Plagiarism. Very serious issue. Yes, this is the data. Plagiarism data. See, IITs from 2006 2023. IIT Roorkee turned out to be highest plagiarism data. This is the source is there. You can say plagiarism, but you are talking about the technology. This is the issue. Next. Please remember, I have been frequently, you can say, criticized for, you can say, troubling the authors or testing them with critical hard comments or asking a lot of edits. Numerous times by the by the publisher. Nevertheless, I believe in this. Heated gold becomes ornaments. Beaten copper creates wire. Depleted stone becomes a statue. Tortured authors one day become recognized scholars. And there are examples, 8 rejected papers in science and economics. Later on, they received Nobel Prize.
Thank you so much, Joshi sir, for such wonderful insights. In fact, the information that knowledge that sir has shared with us on research is something which each one of us should, especially the students. Because when we talk about the future of learning, research is going to play a major role. And the kind of research you do with the intensity, with the credibility, reliability is definitely going to decide a lot on your knowledge, the in-depth knowledge that you will gain in those areas. So thank you so much, sir, for bringing out the research gaps, which should be identified and the skills should be gained accordingly. And I think that is where the teachers are going to play an important role. So thanks to each and every speaker sharing your thoughts. We are absolutely out of time, but then panel discussion is not complete without question and answer session. So we don't have much time, but one full and final question. If anyone from the audience, yes. And I request speakers for a quick answer, please.
So my question is related to the AI, generative AI in particular. Why do we need to demonize it? It is creating democratization of information. People are accessing it more. And why do we need to demonize because last time when the speaker came, she told AI will not replace human jobs, but those people who know AI will replace those who don't know AI. How will we make sense and why do we need to demonize it? Might be in assignments, might be in research papers, might be in anything for that matter. Like all the technological breakthroughs, this is also a technological breakthrough for that matter. This is question number 1. Question number 2, in countries like mass poverty, like India, mass unemployment, digital illiteracy is gaining traction. How do we cover this? Digital illiteracy for that matter. Digital divide becoming more broader, digital illiteracy becoming much narrower and steeper. How do we bridge this gap as far as this digital illiteracy is concerned?